Hello everyone, George here, and we're back again with my implementation of Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm taking a little bit of a break from Foxy, and instead I want to try to implement the tablet interface that's going to be on one of the hands. So here is a quick little box that I created. I lost the part where I actually did this, so we're just kind of go with it. But anyway, it's just going to be a simple object. It's a tablet group. It has a render scene, which is just going to be a flat plane where the camera is going to render to, and then there's a body to it as well. I haven't gone through and done any UVing on this, but what we do want to do is take the render scene portion of this. I'm going to go to UV, planar, best plane, apply, and that's going to fill up the entire thing. Now I do want to make sure that this is correct. So if I start selecting things, which side gets selected? So that's the top, so that's not right. So that's the side. So let's grab the entire thing and rotate this thing counterclockwise. Let's see. Edge, which one's that? That's the bottom. So no, we want to do rotate 1, 2, 3, 4. And now that's the top. So we're good. Save. I'm going to export this out. Tablet file, send to Unity, selection. Wrong project. So file, recent projects, FNAF. File, send to Unity, selection, and it's still choosing the wrong project. So let's try this. File, send to Unity, set Unity project, and up. A Night at Georgie's. Let's see, FNAF. A Night at Georgie's, please. There we go. And select. File, send to Unity, selection, and now we should be in the right thing. Tablet FBX. You can see I already done an export. I lost that footage, so that's why you're going to notice a few things duplicated. Coming back over here though, I've already gone ahead, and what I've done is I've attached the tablet to my Vive left controller. So that already has all the information such as the power and so forth for everything. So I figured I'd also attach the tablet to it with the idea that the other hand ends up being the one that will handle all of the basically interaction type stuff. So what we want to do now is figure out a way to make it so that the render scene portion of this gets all the camera information. So in a previous video, a long time ago, we had created a camera manager, and the camera manager is just a series of transforms, and the camera itself moves between them. We no longer want to do this. Instead, we want there to be a camera at each one of these locations, and then have them choose which one to render out to this object. So we're going to need to set up a bunch of different cameras. I'm going to turn lighting off so I can actually see what I'm doing here. And for each one of these, I'm going to want to add the camera to it. So what's going to be the easiest way to do this? So if we go to game object and let's see, align with view, align view to selected, toggle, set last and move to view. Okay. So what I'm thinking is that has a camera control script attached to it for some reason, but the rest of them don't. I'm wondering, so for each of these, we just grab them, add component camera, attach that to them. So now we've got all the different cameras. Jeez Louise, look at all that nonsense. Now we definitely don't want this plane to be that far, so I'm just going to decrease that on down to 50, because there's no, even 50 is too far. Let's do, I don't know, 30, something like that. Jeez. Okay, so those are all of our different cameras. Let's see. What we want to do is do a target texture to render to, and that is going to have to change based upon which one we want to be working with. So how do I want to handle this? That's the question. So coming over here, we have a camera control. Let's open that up and see what it does. Not sure why that's there. It's been a while since I've messed with this. So here's the camera control. Okay, so this is actually rotating the camera itself. And that is something we are probably going to want to be on every one of these. So hold on a second. So I'm going to remove that for right now. I'm probably going to come back and mess with that later. I want to render this to a texture, and I want a certain camera to be active. So under Camera Manager, we've got all of these. Let's open this up for the Camera Manager. So here's all of the different ones we have. Jeez, this is a mess. Okay, so how do I want to handle this? How are we going to have you switch between these? That's the first question. So we're going to use the Vive input, I guess, to swap cameras on this. So we're going to need, looking at one of my controllers just off screen here, we're going to want, I don't know, maybe the left and right press on this thing, on the Vive controller, to switch between cameras, I guess. And so let's think about this. All right, so under tablet, I've created a render to texture, or a render to texture object by going to create render to texture right here. So that's the object that I'm dealing with. Here's the resolution 512 by 512. We might need to increase that, but that's fine. And then we have the material for that, which is the render. So this is going to take whatever this object is and apply it to the albedo of it. So what we need to do now is go to the render scene, and that now, and it has a tablet render scene material attached to it, as you can see right here. So now we need to hook it up so that the object gets the render to texture thing that we want. So I'm thinking we're going to end up gutting a lot of what we've done here. So in the camera manager for the moment, I'm going to create a new camera manager. I'm going to call this create C#, and I'm going to call this tablet camera manager. And open that up. So this is going to want to have a list of all the different cameras. So let's create a camera array cameras. Just make that public. So I'll iterate over this. And coming over here now, so there's a camera manager. I'm going to deactivate that and take tablet camera manager, put it here. Let's make this, what is that? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I want to do it this way and not grab by child because I want to make sure the order is set up properly. So this way I can choose exactly which one goes where. 4B, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so now we've got our list of cameras. We're also going to want a reference to that render to texture, I suppose, because we're going to be, as we iterate through them, we're going to want to set the render texture for each camera. Now we're also going to want to deactivate all the cameras. So let's do that. So void awake, and let's do camp for each for int I is equal to 0, I is less than cameras dot length I plus plus, and let's do cameras dot what was that? Yeah, camera I dot enabled equal false. Okay, so that means that that camera is going to be off, all of them. And then what we do want to do though is actually we want the first camera to be active. So let's just do I is equal to 1. That way the first camera stays active, and we want that first camera to also have the render to texture attached to it. So let's do a public render texture camera render texture, something like that. And we're going to want camera 0, 0, oh, come on, dot render, let's see. How do I set the render texture on a camera? Let's look up camera and try to figure this out. So there's camera. On pre-render all cameras current. These are static properties. Active texture. Active texture, I guess. Yeah, let's go with active texture. Dot active texture is going to be equal to camera render texture. So what are you giving me crap for? It is read only. So how do I set it? Unity set render. How do I set it? Do I have to have a separate one for everything? That's the question. Unity set render texture. Code, something like that. Camera.target texture. What about that? Destination render texture. Okay. So that's where it's going to be pushing things out. So then we're going to want our functionality to implement or increment whichever camera we're working with. And that's going to be working with the Vive controller stuff. So we're going to want to inherit, or not inherit, we're going to want to put in a function to do that. So let's look up our Vive input script. Take another look at that really quick. And we're going to want to create or do, let's see, we're going to want, let's see, this is on the left trackpad for right now. So I guess it's going to be button left trackpad press. I guess this one right here, and we're going to want to evaluate it. Okay, so coming back over here, I believe, is Vive input? Yeah, I can get the instance of Vive input right here, the static instance of it. So let's go back to Tablet Camera Manager, and we're going to want to add to this two methods, right? We're going to want to do Vive input dot instance, not instantiate, dot instance, get instance dot let's see, what was it again? Button left trackpad press. Or I could manually grab it if I want to and not do it that way. It's really up to me, I guess. Dot button left trackpad press plus equals 1. Let's see. Am I stupid? Probably. Oh, on button. Okay. It's been a while since I've messed with this, so bear with me. And then we're going to want a function to handle that. So let me go back over here. So let's do a void on button left trackpad press. Oops. And let's have that get executed here whenever that gets pressed. And just looking at this again really quick. All right, so when this is pressed, we need to query it. So Vive input dot get instance dot get button. No, I want to get the value. Dot left. Where do I get the value from? Oh, it's been so long since I've messed with this. I'm confused. get right. There we go. So get left trackpad. I guess I want horizontal. That's going to return to me a float. So float value is equal to that. And when that happens, I'm going to want to increment through the, so let's see, let's do void increment camera. We'll do another one, void decrement camera. Something like that. And what we're going to do is create a public int that is going to be the current camera we're on. Camera is equal to 0. Int. And we're going to just put that there as well. So that's our current camera. So we're going to increment the camera, which means current camera plus plus, and then current camera minus minus, and then we'll do a quick check if it's better, if it's bigger than this, if current camera is greater than or equal to what is it called again? Cameras.length. We're going to do current camera is equal to 0. We're going to do the same thing if we're going backwards. So if the current camera is less than or equal to, actually is less than 0, then the current camera is going to be equal to cameras dot length minus 1. Right, because we go below it, we want to wrap around to the other side. And that's, the index is going to be 1 minus the actual length of the thing. So that's that. So now that we've done that, we also want to go into that particular camera, and we're going to want to do cameras, current camera, and actually we need to do this beforehand because what we want to do is deactivate that camera. So cameras dot enabled is equal to false, and then we also want to do cameras. I don't know if I have to set this to be null or not, but I want to do it anyway. Actually, I don't know. If it's not enabled, maybe it won't render out to the texture, in which case I can go to each one of these, grab all of them, and select all of them to render out to the same texture. So target texture, render, tablet. Okay. I'm interested in just knowing. Null reference exception, tablet manager. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. So I'm doing this in awake. Most likely Vive input hasn't been set up yet, so I should probably do this in start. So start already in here someplace. Yes, it is. Let's grab that, bring it up here. Grab this, put it in there. I just want to see if that error goes away now. So there's the render scene. It's got that. Did I not attach this to something? So camera manager, we're going to get rid of the old one. Here's the new one. Camera render texture, we want that to be tablet. And so they're all disabled. I don't think I need to do this now because they all should have the same one, right? So all of them are going to have a target texture right there. So there's a camera right there. So unfortunately, it looks like, oh, I'm selecting them. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that did that. Camera preview, that's pretty cool. But I'm not getting anything showing up over here. So that's a good question. Why am I not at least getting something to show up? Let's fix that, and then we're going to call it quits on this video, and I'll finish the rest later on. Let's see here. So that's the render scene. That's taking that material that has that render texture right there, which is this one right here. This is the material associated with it. And each of the cameras have a target texture. So what is going wrong? Oh, look at that. I got it flipped. Whoops. Okay, that's an easy fix, so it does work. So let's grab this face, and do I have back face culling on? No, I don't. But why can I still... Let's look at the normals, I guess, on that. So window or display, polygon, face normal. Not seeing anything there. Let's hide the body really quick. Hey, so why? That is the front part of it, so why is it not working over here? Why is it reversed? Or is the tablet just upside down? Oh, the tablet's just upside down. Okay, so let's go to the tablet. There's the scale, there's the rotation. I'm not seeing any problems, so let's just, I guess, rotate it around 0, -90, 0, or what is going on here? 90, no. Gotta get rid of that specular highlight, that's for sure. So wait a second, what is this? What is going on here? Display, show, all. So what is, that's the forward Z direction. Let's look at our stuff here. So that's that, and that's that. Everything looks fine. And if we come back over here now, so that's that. Let's rotate this around 90 degrees, so 180, -90, apparently. And that specular highlight is killing me. So let's go to the render scene portion of this and turn that off. So let's do, that's the material. How do I do, let's see, smooth this off. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna just turn that off. Okay, so now we have this thing set up and we got a tablet with actually, it's gonna show whatever the camera is showing. So that's cool. I'm just gonna hit render or run really quick. So that's the first camera. All right, so I'm gonna take a quick break for now from this because I got some other stuff I gotta do. In the next video, we're going to finalize this by going in here and making it so that we can actually increment through the cameras, and then we'll do an actual run through and see it all work out just fine. All right, thanks all for watching. I will see you next time. So long, goodbye.